Now guys, the buzz around the country right now is that the market's falling apart. So is the market falling apart or is it not, right? That's the big question. The other question is, does it even matter, right? Because if the market's slowing down or regressing, can you still make money? Of course. In fact, more people I know made more money in the last crash than they do in a booming market. It just depends on the strategies that you're using, the way that you're running your business. So you just have to adjust if what you're doing right now is not working. But let's look at this a little bit deeper, right? We're gonna go over the indicators that the market is slowing. But I've traveled around the country to about 15 different markets lately. Some are still exploding, some are on fire, some are definitely slowing down. So how do you know if your market's slowing down? Let's go back to high school, guys, and look at macroeconomics versus microeconomics, right? So if you weren't sleeping in high school and you remember this, macro is the entire market that you're looking at, and micro is a smaller market within that macro market. So let's look at the United States real estate market as a whole as a macro market. And then the micro market would be your individual city that you're living in. So let's take Dallas-Fort Worth, where I'm from. So this is about 40, 50 cities. I can actually use DFW as a micro market, but have micro markets within the micro market, such as each individual city. Arlington, Plano, Keller, right? And then you can even have micro markets within the city by subdivision or zip code, right? So how do you know if your area is slowing down? We're gonna look at these indicators right here, and this is how you're gonna know to adjust if or to not adjust, right? So first one, guys, is number of actives. So as we know, most of the country's been in a booming market for years now, and houses fly off the shelf. They don't just sit there. But if you're seeing your market where you're only having 1 or 2 or maybe 3 active houses at a time in subdivisions, and you're used to seeing this, and now all of a sudden you're seeing 10, 15 houses sitting on the market, that's a good indicator that your market slowed down because inventory is not flying off the shelf, right? So look for actives increasing. Number 2, days on market. DOM stands for days on market. If you're seeing the days on market for your flips or your houses that you're selling go up, you know, my market for years, I basically sold every house within a week. Now we're seeing a month or 2 months, houses are slowing down, or houses are taking longer to sell, the market's slowing down. So if you're seeing days on market go up, you need to adjust your strategy. You need to change your numbers and your calculations when you're buying to adjust for longer carrying costs, right? We'll talk about carrying costs in another video. Price reductions. This is a huge indicator that your market is slowing. If you're putting houses up for between 2012 and 2018, every house flew off the market, and not only did it fly off the market, you have best and final offer scenarios where multiple people are making offers above what you listed it for, and now all of a sudden you're not getting any buyers. It seems like a ghost town, and you're having to reduce prices. That's a sign that your market's slowing down. So if you see price reductions happen and you haven't seen that for years, guys, you're starting to see the top of the market. You're starting to roll over the crest, right? Number 4. Building permits. If you go down to your city and you find out that the number of building permits is reducing over the past few years, that is a huge indicator that the market's slowing. It means builders are no longer comfortable to be building inventory at the top of the market. The last crash, builders all across the country that were doing very, very well went out of business because they had half-built houses. They had all these spec homes across the country, and then the market crash, they couldn't finish the house out, and they basically went out of business, right? So if you're seeing building permits reduce, that's a sign that your market is slowing. Refinancing, right? So let's look at it like this. If you have 40 rental houses and you've got 60, 80, 100K in equity in each house, and you're trying to figure out, should I refinance or should I not? And you think the market's gonna slow down and all of a sudden you're gonna lose 20% equity in these houses, what are you gonna do? A lot of people are doing refinancing right now on their rental properties. So we're seeing an unprecedented amount of refinancing at the top of the market, which means people wanna pull their cash out before they feel their equity disappears, if that makes sense. If you're seeing a lot of refinances go on in your marketplace, it's a good sign that the market's slowing. And the last one, guys, WOM, word of mouth. If you're hearing it around the REI clubs, you're hearing around the networking events, you're talking to other investors and they're panicking and they're saying, guys, the market's slowing, my houses are sitting. Word of mouth is a good indicator that the buzz is here, that the market's slowing in your market. So those are the indicators, guys. If you see these happening in your market, you're probably slowing down. I hope you liked today's video, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. Like, share, and send these videos around to help people understand, because if they can't identify this market threat, they're not going to adjust and they can lose a lot of money or even go out of business. Guys, I hope you liked the video. See you on the next one.